Hey guys, how's it going? Masterbucks here. Welcome to this video for the full reaction, breakdown, and analysis of FIFA 17's The Journey trailer. And it's not just going to be a reaction and a breakdown and an analysis of just the trailer. No, we're going to be going through a whole load of information about this mode. Now, obviously, as you guys should know, this whole trailer, this entire game mode was announced about a day ago, depending on when this goes up, of course, at EA Play. I did not upload a reaction video straight away when they announced it, when they released the trailer, so that way, it gave me the opportunity to really bring in a lot of information that you probably have not seen from other videos as of yet. It's been about 24 hours since the actual mode was announced properly, and there has been more and more information coming through, not just released from EA Sports, but people on the ground actually with hands-on experience playing the game. And of course, there are also some people at EA Sports that have been sending me just a little bit of tidbits of information. I have done not only that, a shitload of research as well, so you are going to be the most informed that you have ever been about this mode in the next few minutes. But before we get into the nitty gritty, let's get down to basics. This, ladies and gentlemen, is The Journey. You play as Alex Frequency Vibrations Hunter. By the way, if you don't play NBA 2K16, I'm sorry you didn't get that joke. You are an up-and-coming 17-year-old footballer from Clampton, London, who is about to experience his very first season in the Premier League. The Journey is exclusive just to Premier League clubs as well. It is only a Premier League experience, and you get to pick which club that you play for. So now, guys, we've got the trailer in front of us. Instead of watching to it and reacting to it, we're going to go right into the nitty-gritty. We're going to stop at every single point, and we're going to break down exactly what we can see from the trailer. So here we go. Now, the first thing that we're going to see here is a screenshot of a coach's office. That means that you're actually able to go in, talk to coaches, not specifically managers, but special coaches that you get to have more fluid interactions with, or more realistic interactions with, because I'm sure it'd be very difficult for them to get all 20 managers in to do scripts and stuff like that. So you won't be doing as much interaction with managers. You'll definitely be doing more with specific coaches. I would like to think of them as pretty generic coaches that you'll pretty much have the same one regardless of what club you go to. There are going to be personalized interiors of stadium. As you can see here, there's also going to be dressing rooms as well. Going off of experience with NBA 2K, I think you'll probably expect quite a fair few of the cinematics and the cutscenes to be taking place within these dressing rooms. And of course, as I said before, this is all being done now in the Frostbite engine, which is going to be very, very exciting. I don't know if they waited until they moved to the Frostbite engine, because of course, this is the same engine that EA Sports have been running Dragon Age and all that sort of stuff, very story-driven game mode. So I feel like that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Now, this is interesting. You've got Alex Hunter right here to the left, of course, of screen. He is... I'll be obvious, yeah, he's the black one. And then there's obviously the white guy there. We don't know what his full name is, but we do know that his last name is Walker. He is going to be either your friend or your rival, depending on the decisions that you make within the game. But long story short, you two are both coming up through the Youth Academy at the same time. So basically, you're best buds at the start, but where you are at the end, who knows? As you can see, again, they're training together, they're best of buds, they've got their own handshakes and everything like that. I mean, they're like this. You can see in this scene, of course, as well, Alex Hunter's getting warmed up on the touchline, gets a little pat on the back from a specific coach as well. You will notice that this guy has actually featured in a few screenshots, which makes me think that this guy is going to be the coach that you're always talking to. He's going to be the one from the football department that's always checking in on you as well, and you're going to be having a fair bit of interaction with. Now, this man here, a lot of people were confused as to who this was. Of course, we only just saw it come out. We didn't have the information, but now we know. This guy is Jim Hunter. He is actually Alex's granddad. Yes, it can be a little bit confusing because obviously he's black and he's white. So that's obviously probably thrown a few people off. Maybe they didn't think there was a relation, but no, he is his granddad, and he not only is his granddad, but he's also a footballing legend, apparently. Apparently, Jim Hunter actually had a pretty decent season, and there is actually some reputation associated with the Hunter name. He pretty much used to be a top player in the day, so Alex Hunter is coming into the Premier League with expectation on his shoulders. You see the man here as well who's handing him a card saying if you want representation. Obviously, he's an agent. As you know, if you've played NBA 2K, there are some very dodgy fuckers out there that are always going to try to, you know, either do you wrong, or it's all going to be part of the test. It's all going to be part of the decisions that you're going to have to make. Now, you see here Alex Hunter and a few of his mates checking out his new digs. Obviously, he's got a cool apartment. Earlier in the trailer, we see him just in a room. It's nothing all too special, but now he's got this swanky little flat, which is obviously fantastic for him. Now, this might sound like we're going to get a bit sidetracked, but don't worry, because we are going to get back on track with this. What you can do in-game when you're actually playing is you can earn achievements, or there are achievements and accomplishments that you try to set out for Alex Hunter, and if you meet them, then you are given rewards, you're getting better sponsorships, better endorsements as well, and that obviously means that correlation means that you can get things like this, better apartments and all that sort of stuff. Now, there's a shot here, and in the trailer, he's just sort of talking like, oh, things aren't going too well, but you don't really know what exactly they're talking about. Well, I've got something fucking special for you guys. We are very, very, very confident that this is actually him getting a phone call from the manager that apparently things have not been going all too well for him. Maybe he's in a dip of form. He's not getting a lot of minutes in the team, and he's just been called to be informed that he's going to be put out on loan. Apparently, there's a cutscene a little bit later where he's being consoled by his grandfather or by somebody saying, "Oh, don't worry, man. It's the process. Everyone, even the greats, have been out on loan. Like David Beckham was out on loan, so don't fret about it. Don't worry." And obviously, as you can tell, it's obviously distressing news, and he's not happy, and he's whacking shit off of his desk and all that sort of stuff. Again, like I said before, the personalized interiors, you can see that it's red and white. Obviously, he's a Manchester United player in this career mode or in this trailer. You can see Manchester United backdrops and stuff like that as well. Something tells me, or I'm almost extremely confident that depending on the club that you pick, let's say for example it's Chelsea, instead of it being red and white, it may be blue and white, or let's say you go with Tottenham, it could be, I don't know, what is it, like grey and white or something like that? Either way, it basically changes depending on the club you're in. It's pretty much almost exactly how it works in NBA 2K because there are cutscenes and things that happen within the game and in the storyline and stuff like that occur within these locker rooms and things like that, these little areas, and they are personalized to fit whatever club or whatever team you're with. So I would expect the exact same here. And of course as well, you see he's looking at his name. It's so cool. I absolutely love the fact that there are locker rooms and change rooms. It's awesome. And of course you can see Walker on the right. I don't know about you, but I'm not sure about a Walker that plays for Manchester United with a number 22. I didn't think so. That's his mate that's come out with the youth, or that he's come out with from the youth academy. You can see the two of them there, of course, just sort of sitting alongside each other, maybe looking a bit, not too great. Maybe some shit's going down. Maybe things are going astray between you two. You never know. You've just got Wayne Rooney and, of course, Anthony Martial sitting in the back. It's absolutely fantastic. And again, the team playing, of course, that's how teams get back and forth. But again, something that's pretty much been taken from older NBA 2K games when you're on the road and that's sort of the menu screen. You're just sitting down. I'm not sure if that's how it's going to be or if this is just a cinematic, but still. Now for this man as well, you see that he looks very familiar, doesn't he? He's the one, the coach, that gave the pat on the back to Hunter as he was warming up in the first game that we saw. You're going to have a lot of interactions with this guy. He is, like I've already said before, he's the guy from the football department that you're really talking to. And again, if this isn't, even if this guy wasn't Manchester United, I don't think they'd have 20 for each club. I think it's this guy, and regardless of what club you pick, whether it be Chelsea, Leicester, whoever, this guy's the guy that you're going to be talking to from the football department. And then, of course, a few more scenes where it's him walking through the tunnel, and then that is the end of the trailer. It cuts after that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much the trailer. Now, we've gone through that, we've broken it down, I've given you a little bit more information that you probably would not have been able to get from the trailer, but don't worry, I still have plenty more left and plenty more information that you're going to be able to get that you wouldn't have been able to see from that trailer. The first thing I can let you know is that specific Premier League footballers are going to be featuring pretty heavily in the storyline. For example, those footballers are going to be Harry Kane, Eden Hazard, and Anthony Martial. I'm sure you may have seen some of the screenshots where Eden Hazard and all those other players have got very specific dots on their face. They're wearing a contraption on their head that lights them up. You feel like that's a lot of overkill, and they wouldn't do that with every single footballer. No, they've only done them with Harry Kane, Eden Hazard, and Anthony Martial. There are two other cover stars in FIFA 17, Marco Reus and James Rodriguez, and yet we have not seen one photo or anything like that with Marco Reus and James Rodriguez wearing those contraptions, having those dots on their faces. So something tells me that they are specifically to try to capture the mannerisms and the movement of the player faces. Way, way, way more in depth. I might be reading too much into this, but something tells me you're going to have a real increased interaction with those three specific players. Again, very seamless and very similar to something that NBA 2K did where they had very, very exclusive interactions where before tip-off you'd be talking with players like James Harden, Steph Curry, and Kevin Durant, players like that. So yeah, I do feel like you're going to have probably some proper conversations with guys like Harry Kane, Eden Hazard, and Anthony Martial. I can tell you that the person that's actually writing this, his name is Thomas Watt. He was a ghostwriter for David Beckham in his book called, I think it was My Side or something like that. So he's definitely a established football writer, which is again something that I'm pretty happy about. Obviously with NBA 2K, they got Spike Lee, who is a very, he's obviously very well around basketball as well. So they've got someone I feel like for the right job. I can honestly say I don't know much of Thomas Watt, but I feel like his background sort of suits the whole story that they're probably going for. Something else that's going to be in my journey or in the journey that you definitely wouldn't have been able to see from just watching the trailer is dialogue options. Of course, just like in Mass Effect, and again, just like in NBA 2K, it is the one thing that we just keep on referring back to. But hey, it is pretty much exactly what they're doing, but it's fine because that's exactly what we wanted. So basically, you'll be asked a question maybe by, let's say, an interviewer after a match, post-match, or maybe by a coach or somebody like that. And depending on the answer that you pick, maybe you'll be presented with 3 or so different answers. They are going to hopefully shape how the story goes on. These dialogue options as well are hopefully going to be like a bit of a throwback to memos from older FIFA career modes, like in 06 and 07, where you were given a situation that you had to deal with and there were more than one ways of dealing with it. There were like 3 or 4 and you had to pick the best one. And depending on which one you picked, it was either going to have a negative impact on you or a positive impact on you. And sometimes it had very surprising responses. So I feel like that'd be really cool to see back into FIFA. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much about it. Some stuff obviously I'm relaying to you that you've already heard before. Some stuff hopefully that is fresh and you have not heard before, and you now have a really good, now hopefully you've really got your head around what this new game mode is potentially going to be. And we all know already it's going to be amazing. But obviously I'm not just going to sit here and just talk it up like it's the best thing since sliced bread. No, I definitely have my concerns and I'm going to share a few with you. Of course, like I've been saying for a while now, it's only Alex Hunter. He is not customizable. You have to play as Alex Hunter. He has a set background, his name, his like everything. It's all set in stone. It's been written with that character in mind. So you won't be able to create yourself, which is unfortunate. But then again, I do not care in the slightest. This is the first time that EA Sports are ever having a crack at this. And to be honest, writing a My Player or a The Journey, a whole player career mode story based on football compared to basketball and of course NBA 2K, it's very, very different and much harder. So I do not have a problem with them saying, this is the guy that you're going to play as, and they'll probably try to work it from there. Of course, I don't want it to be like that forever. I'm very happy for them to do it in their first season, just sort of trial it, see how it goes, and we all need to get behind it and make sure that this is exactly what we want. And then potentially later on, you never know, they might be able to create something or write the script so that way it's a little bit more open and you can create your own players and try to create yourself in the game. And that, I'm sure, is what a lot of people want anyway. Another concern I've got as well is how dynamic it is. And what I mean by that is, how much do your actions off the pitch and on the pitch affect how the story will develop over time? Back in the most recent my career, back in NBA 2K16, there were weird moments where you apparently were having dips in form, even though you could put up 40, 50 every single game, and yet apparently you'd still be struggling, and it just did not make sense. The correlations were just not there. It just did not make sense. So hopefully what you actually do on the field and off the field will have an impact and change the direction that your story will go. Another one I have a concern with is how deep the story is going to be. And again, I keep going back to 2K, but again, it's the best example. It was very much, the first season was littered with incredible cutscenes and it was super detailed, but immediately after the first season, you're pretty much on your ass and it's almost nothing. It's really not good. Right on from the first season, it is not detailed and it's really piss poor. I hope it's not just one season worth of a story and then they just leave you like it's fucking nothing and you're back to a usual My Player or to a player career mode. I do not want that. I hopefully want to see a really deep, rich story. I know, again, first crack that they're ever going to have at it. But I just feel like it'd be great if there was a little bit more than just a shitload of cutscenes in the first season and then barely anything else afterward. And the final thing that I have a concern with is, of course, the fact that it is probably going to take away from manager mode. Has this taken away from manager mode? The sad truth is here that it's probably going to. It probably means that we're going to be served up the exact same manager mode in career mode anyway, the exact same manager career mode that we've pretty much had in FIFA 15 and in FIFA 16. So that in itself is a little bit disappointing. I know probably some people wanted to see changes to that online career mode. However, again, I still don't think I have seen one real solid implementation of online career mode yet. So I definitely don't want to, I'm not too devastated that we haven't seen anything yet or seen EA attempt it, but this is almost exactly what I wanted them to have a crack at, and they've fucking done it. So on you, EA Sports. But that is pretty much it, guys. I know this video has gone for a very long time. Of course, there was a lot of information I wanted to relay back to you, a lot of opinions that I wanted to share with you as well. And yeah, man, I'm just so pumped that they have actually gone out and done this. I cannot believe it. EA Sports, unbelievable work, fair play. I'm pumped already. I can't wait to get my hands on it. And of course, it goes without saying, if you want to watch a The Journey series anywhere on YouTube, this is the place. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to do so. Until next time, guys, my name's The Master Bucks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a good one.